many of you have flown on a plane before? Can I just see a show of hands? Okay, pretty much everyone. So as you'll all know, long flights can be boring and exhausting. So if someone gave you the chance to cut that flight time in half, would you? I certainly would. And that brings me to the Concorde, a supersonic, meaning faster than the speed of sound plane, which could do just that. But you might be wondering, how is that possible? Well, let me explain. A flight becomes supersonic when its speed passes 760 miles per hour. At this stage, there is an invisible barrier where the air compresses, the plane encounters shock waves, and drag, the force that slows the plane down in the air, increases dramatically. To counteract this, the Concorde was built with powerful engines and an aerodynamic design. The wings were delta or triangle-shaped for a smaller surface area to cut down on that drag. This helped the plane to reach its final destination much faster. Heat posed a problem for engineers when creating the Concorde, as the standard aluminium used to build planes would buckle under the sort of intense heat that any plane flying supersonic would encounter. This is because air flowing over the wings of the plane at high speeds generates friction, which in turn generates heat, a lot of it. So because of this, the Concorde had to be built using a mixture of steel and aluminium alloys, stainless honeycomb, and glass resin. This was a plane that was built to last. Finally, and arguably its most important feature, was the Concorde's supercruise capability. Supercruise is sustained flight at supersonic speed, and this, crucially, enabled it to become a commercial passenger plane and to carry passengers all over the world at higher speeds than anyone had seen before. Now, what's really important to note is that this couldn't have been done without the military technology of afterburners. Afterburners utilize extra fuel in order to increase thrust, the force that keeps the plane moving forward in the air, and this was essential for the initial climb up to altitude so that the Concorde could reach that supercruise stage. Now, despite the complexity of all these concepts, the Concorde was a smash hit amongst passengers and pilots alike. So we should all be flying supersonic, right? Wrong. The Concorde was very expensive to maintain due to the amount of fuel it used, and when coupled with an accident in early 2000 that killed over 100 people, it was decided that the Concorde was too expensive and too risky to maintain, and it was taken out of the skies for good. Despite this, I am confident that supersonic flight will return to passengers around the world, which is looking sooner rather than later with the release of the Boom supersonic jet, which I'm really excited about. That's about it. Thank you so much for listening.
Excellent. So super fast travel on Concorde. Will it come back? Will it not? Let's go over to our judges. Adam, do you want to kick us off?
I do, yeah. I get a strong sense of enthusiasm for aviation from you.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about why aviation is such a fascination?
Well, I used to be a really nervous flyer, and so because I'm that kind of person, I started watching documentaries about plane crashes and the engineering of those planes, because know thy enemy. And as I got into it, I started really enjoying learning about planes, and a lot of my friends really like planes, so that helped because I have them to tell me things as well. And from there I found the Concorde, and I think it's just like the most amazing feat of engineering. It's incredible, so.
Thank you.
Brilliant. And Jules, did you want to ask something?
Yes, I just wondered what the most interesting or fascinating thing was that you learned when you were doing your research.
Oh, that's difficult. Now, I find sonic booms amazing. I didn't include it in my presentation because I wasn't sure if I'd had the time. But yeah, just like the immense power that the plane gives off as it takes off, that's amazing to me.
Brilliant, well done.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Isla. Back to your seat. Another round
Thank you.
of applause for our final Famelab contestant.